Hello guys, today we're looking at the Black Series number 04 R2-D2 figure. This was the last figure of the very first Inception wave of the Black Series, and really the first wave does not go out with a bang, and I'm going to state just why right here. My major complaint with this figure is the scale, as other people have with it. R2-D2, supposed to be a pretty big guy. Here's a picture of him next to another character. Hopefully I found one of him with Luke Skywalker, as it'll help my comparison here. As you can see, pretty big, pretty sizable. Here's the figure. Not even up to Luke's waist. Yeah, as you can see, we can't even include Luke's head in this picture because of how downtrodden the camera needs to be. So, that's my greatest disappointment, and that is why this figure will be tanked point-wise at the end of the review. I'm foreshadowing, but I know I will tank it a lot. Aside from scale, this is a very beautiful figure though, and I'll talk about the good things about this figure for the rest of the review. I just wanted to get scale out of the way, as it's really the elephant in the room. This figure is beautiful though when it comes to detailing. It comes with all the articulation that you're used to seeing on articulation, yes, but the detailing that we've always wanted to see on R2. All the details are really well sculpted. The blue is a little darker than I really wanted, but that's more on the paint than the detail. You have the wires are individually cast pieces. You have the third leg that can pop down via neck rotation, which I prefer removable third legs rather than neck rotation since the placement is a little hard to get. But this one does well, as you can see here. If you unravel it, it kind of feels kind of long, but overall it works well, and then it just stores back in. So I guess it's not a part that you can lose like all the other parts he has shown right here. And you can really, if you spent enough time, you could always just calculate what angle you want his head to be at, and then wind it up again, and you can get it to whatever leg pose you want with the overhead tilt, but it's kind of a hassle. Now on to the little details on this figure that I really love. And that would be all these little compartments, these little doodads, that make this figure great. Let's start off. All of these both side attachments are removable, as we can see here. And, oh, come on. Well, that spoils a little bit later in the review. Once we just get this one off, there we go. And here are these pieces. There's a nice little piece. Detail's not super high on them, but they're painted nicely. And instead you can put its little jets on. And as you can see here, he can be in jet mode. And I'll probably keep him in that just for the rest of you for the sake of it. Would have been nice to get a little bit of jets that we could attach to the bottom of those, but there's a really elephant in the room that they should address rather than fixing this R2 figure aside from just the jets. Now on to some more parts. He also has these little compartments that hold small arms. I don't know if you can see the arm in there. Let's see if I can get it out. I'll take him right back here. Here we go. I just used a little pen there to grab it out. You just need a small finger or some ability to grab small things, which I don't have with sausage fingers. So, and the other one does it as well. So you have two little tiny arms here that extend out from the torso, and really it's great. It would have been super cool if we got these arms to come out as well. But the last time Hasbro did that, they had the entire panel come out with it, and it really didn't look too nice. So I'd rather have them not give up aesthetic to have it come out. But those parts work well. Then finally we have the most interesting part, and that's the top panels here. And as you can see on these top, 3 of these panels have small little notches on them that allow you to take them off. Here's 1. Here's 2. And finally the 3rd. So you see a lot of loose R2-D2s that look like this just because people lose the panels since they're so small. But what these panels do allow is very cool functions. This first largest panel here allows you to have him pop up Luke's lightsaber, if I can get it in there. I believe it's this way, yeah. I don't know why I had such difficulty with that, but he can pop up Luke's RTJ lightsaber, which this figure came out before the RTJ Luke, but it's definitely still nice that we got the RTJ hilt with it. Then you can have him have his little light camera, I'd say this is. And this can store in either positions, I believe. The holes seem to be fairly similar. Then you can finally have his sensor scope. And I'm sorry if I have those two in the wrong position. I'm not an R2-D2 fanatic. But as you can see, very well sculpted little bits there. And really, really nice piece. Then you can have any combination of what you want popped up. If you really want, you can have him with everything popped open, arms coming out, and have him be the shocked version of himself from the Endor bunker. But you have plenty of display options with this R2-D2. So accessory count, this is right there next to Sand Trooper. Really great, really amazing. Darth Maul as well. All the first series figures had really good accessories, really just blew out of the water, and I thought with the Black Series would keep on keeping on with that, but instead it kind of decreased over time. But again, I want to retouch this before I give him his score. He's tiny. He's super tiny. He's so tiny. I'll even put Luke right next to him. Right there. R2's even a little bit front, and he doesn't even make it to the waist. So this figure is great articulation-wise. This figure is great when it comes to all the accessories. I mean, you have all the articulation you want. You have that there, and you have sets of really well detailed wheels on the bottom that allow them to move. They're really well sculpted, and they even match the aesthetic, and the paint job is also good. But none of that could revive the major problem with this figure. Unfortunately, it is in the 6-inch line and not the 4.5-inch line. If it was in the 4.5-inch line, this figure would get an easy 9 out of 10, only taking a few points away from the slightly too dark blue and the weird third leg. But because this figure is in the 6-inch line and not the previous line, as I stated, this figure gets a 3 out of 10. And yes, I'm being harsh, but this figure doesn't fit in with 6-inch Black Series, so why would I give it a good score? Maybe you guys think differently. I just think this figure had lots of potential, and if they just took their little mold, since I believe all their Black Series figures are done with 3D models anyway, they just took their mold and made it a little bit bigger. Not this big, but just, there you go. It's that easy. But instead they keep releasing this sculpt, releasing this sculpt, releasing this sculpt, and so they're too far in to actually fix it, since I've made, like, let me think, the Toys R Us 3-pack has been made, R5-D4 has been made, and the other 3-pack that's coming out with Battle Damage R2-D2 and R2-X2. So they're up to 7 other droids. Oh, and then R2-Q5 from the Entertainment Earth pack. So we're up to 8 droids they've now made using this sculpt. And I think they're too far to change it. I would still love a change, since I hate all of... I don't hate them, but I'm just disappointed in them that they're not the right scale. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry I went on a little bit too long about the scale of the figure. It's just really disappointing to see such a good figure be tossed aside because of the scale. Thank you for watching again.